Knees or toes, weed on jerseys, fights in tunnels.
Tries from kicks, some more tries from kicks, and then a couple of tries from kicks.
Don't forget the tries from kicks.
Welcome to the Grapple, Joel.
Thank you, Johnny. I see how we had a slight delay on our hello then because we were both doing these ones.
The
to
dance,
that excellent
Shelley
music.
Bishop's amazing opening track.
Shred with Shelley
Shred
on
with
Instagram.
Shelley.
If you want to see some of her work,
Yeah,
she's good.
it's great.
She did well. I actually saw her the other day and she was wearing a Chicago Bulls hat.
Well, she was a Chicago White for nearly 10 years.
Big Chicago person.
Big Chicago, a colourful Chicago identity.
Yes. And the supplier of the Grapple music. We're here for Chapter 11, coming hot on the tail of Volume X. Now, let's start with, we've got so much, we've got a lot to get through today.
Yeah, let's just go. Churn and burn, Jolie.
Tough nights under rainy skies. We've got roadside drug tests. We're going to talk marijuana as well. We're going to talk forward passes, injuries, kick chase, penalties, so much. But before anything else, Finucane. Dale Finucane has called it. That's it. Game over for Dale. 251 NRL games. Tributes flowing. Obviously, he's only retiring. Worth clarifying that. He's retiring. Medical retirement.
Warrior. Absolute warrior. My contacts at the Sharks tell me no one prepares for a game of footy like him.
Yep.
He is gold standard preparation. That's he's been unreal. His time when he was at the Dogs, I used to think to myself, this bastard's underrated.
Yeah.
And then he went to the Storm, won a premiership, won two premierships.
Two with the Storm, lost
Yep.
2 with the Dogs, 1-2 with Melbourne.
Yeah, there you go.
Not bad.
Couple
Five Origins as well.
5. Yeah,
Yep.
mate. Hats off.
Yeah.
We salute you.
Paul Gallen, 100%. A round of applause, a clapple.
Yeah, a clapple.
Clapple for Dale Finucane. But I tell you what, Paul Gallen came out and said that too. So he's literally 110%. And when they brought him to the Sharks on a longer deal, his concussion history and all of that was already a factor. But even in the knowledge that he might not get through that deal, he was worth signing for what he was signed for because of that influence.
Yeah, I think the influence he had on the playing group. The playing group. So the playing group is a group of people that play.
Yes. Hang on, let me write this down.
Yeah.
So hang on.
I'll start again. So
what?
So there's a group of people at every footy club.
Yep.
That
like humanoid sort of type. Yeah.
Homo sapiens.
Yep. Okay.
They take the field and play, right?
Play football?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
For the major part, they play rugby league.
Okay.
Well, it's NRL. It's not rugby league.
Yeah.
They're called the playing group in a lot of cases. Not all.
Okay.
Yeah. Within the playing group, now bear with me here.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a leadership group.
Oh, so hang on, a group within a group.
Yeah, it's like Inception. It's like a dream within a dream. It's the group within a group. The leadership group resides within and is comprised of members of the playing group.
That initial group feeds members into this other group.
That's how it works, yeah.
Dale Finucane was a member of both groups?
I would assume so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Incredible.
What
a career. But you know what? Like, he's also, like people say, like, what a career. You know, Craig Fitzgibbon said, cue in the rack, sir. You have very much...
Zero to prove.
Done it all. Nothing to prove.
Zero to prove.
But a quick one on the selflessness of the guy is that he knew that this was on the cards a couple of weeks ago. And I'd love to get your take on this. So a couple of weeks, 3 weeks of, I'm done. Shit, I'm cooked. Career's over. Puts off announcing it to the playing group. Because there's a debutant. Sammy Stoush was getting up last week, and he's like, no.
I'll just wait.
I'm gonna
go have your game in the sun.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what a game that was for anyone who's not a Cowboys person.
So,
yes,
wonderful segue.
Thank you.
Into the jerseys we're wearing.
Indeed.
I'm wearing a Cowboys jersey. It's an older one, but nevertheless, it's a Cowboys one. The new one is a bit tight. Joel's wearing a Parramatta jersey.
Speaking of tight.
Why are we wearing these, Joel?
And solidarity. In solidarity and in commiseration and in support of teams
That stunk.
that, like us, in our tipping, had really bad weekends.
My tipping was an aberration. On tipping.
It was an anomaly.
It was the what do they call the the monster that they made out of Zod's DNA in the ship Man of Steel and Superman?
Yeah.
Is it the abomination?
The abomination.
That was my tipping. It was an abomination.
Yeah, the one that they drop out of the helicopter in the Hulk too.
Can't be killed except for like the kryptonite lance that you know
Silly.
what I mean.
Silly,
It's in
yeah.
the water. Batman has to get it.
Yeah. Mine was
it was
a
horrific.
complex series of equations.
I got
didn't
to
come out.
I can remember sitting there. You know, I tipped the Titans to beat Manly. I thought that was my big upset of the weekend.
Yeah.
Oh. And I was sitting there. I was like wanting the Titans to win so much, just so I could get one right.
Yeah. One of those one of those calls, those sort of.
'Cause
Look, full disclosure here on the Grapple podcast, we're massive hypocrites and we're often wrong, but that's fine.
I'm a shit judge of anything. But you know, if I could go 1 from 7 and my 1 was that the Titans beat the Manly, I'd be like, hey, look how good I am.
Would have
I
been
couldn't even
glorious.
get that. I think I ended up with 2 from 8.
Okay.
Just horrific.
Not your week.
No,
But this is and this I love about, we put ourselves out there, and you went to social media in about the 50th minute of that game and said, hello, Nostradamus here. How yous all going with your shitty tips this week? Because guess what? This upset, because they were up. They were up.
They were up.
And they were playing, they're playing better. They are playing better.
But that was a horrible game.
Oh, that mate. Okay, so another
Horrible.
round punctuated by games that,
Yeah.
let's be honest. I'm wearing the Parramatta jersey, and we're going to talk about this. Let's get into the.
Well, let's just pay
Fins.
tribute
Oh, no,
to
please,
this
yeah.
jersey. We've been given another jersey for the desk.
Yep.
That's the Mackay Cutters, ladies and gentlemen. There it is.
Fantastic.
Currently on top of the Host Plus Queensland Cup.
That's
Mackay
awesome.
Cutters.
Yep.
There you go. Michael Comerford, coach of the Cutters. They're doing very, very well. Mahe Fanua, former Melbourne Storm player, playing there.
Yep.
A couple of Cowboys coming back. Couple of young guns. I've said their names before and I'll say them again. Jamal Shibasaki.
Yep.
He's a left edge back rower. I think he's still 18.
The brother of
Shibasaki.
Yep.
Yeah, he's second top try scorer in the Queensland Cup at the moment.
Not bad.
Kid's going to be a star.
Yep.
He's a unreal player. He's got everything, got every tool you could possibly want. And then Jackson Purdy scored another try. So he made his debut last week, scored a try.
Yep.
He's a young half or fullback. He's out of Mackay. These are 2 kids who played schoolboys against each other. Jamal for Ignatius Park, Jackson for St. Pat's Mackay. They're both names of the future to keep an eye on.
Massive raps.
Big raps to the Mackay Cutters.
On Purdue, yeah. He's there's a lot of clubs carefully watching his progress. That's for sure. Now let's speak about the quality from the Queensland Cup to the NRL.
Yeah.
It's not to be denied. Of course, some of the form players in the competition have got their roots there. Trey Fuller for the Dolphins in Darwin. Now, I am wearing this Eels jersey in commiseration with the Eels, who had a horror, an absolute horrible night in Darwin. 35 degrees, I believe, at some point during that game. One of those feels like 100 kind of nights in Darwin, and it felt like 100-0 in about the 60th minute, because Trey Fuller, who's his second NRL game, he's really well known in the Q Cup, came out and had spiders on his back. He was instinctive. He was sharp. He was everywhere. He was like a dog chasing a bloody tennis ball all night.
You know, you talk about grasping your opportunities. That's how you grasp your opportunity. You just play with that kind of intensity, that kind of energy, that kind of focus. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
But here's something I want to ask you.
Yes.
You're Parramatta. You're taking 1 game a year to Darwin. Are you taking it against Queensland teams, or are you going to take Melbourne or Canberra?
I love that you've asked that question. Because
I'm taking Melbourne or Canberra. I'm going to look at the schedule and go, we got the Raiders in July or June. Let's take them to Darwin.
Yeah. Let's take them out of the near 0 degree average.
A couple of years ago, they played the Cowboys up there. The Cowboys live in Townsville.
I remember that, like, Drinkwater that night was absolutely toying with them. And it was kind of similar. They hit a wall in the hardest possible fashion. That Tessinu try, I think it was the one that started that run of tries, was like touch footy with the opponents having their shoelaces tied together. I'm going to credit the great Zane Bojack from ABC Radio. Big fan of Zano's, and he loves his Cowboys. And he described the Cowboys as playing like witches' hats. I think the Eels were also playing like witches' hats.
Both performances were terrible. Now, I'm a massive hypocrite because I was a very ordinary player. But now that I'm a long time removed from the game, I can comment on the game with impunity. There's not much footage of me getting around. There's probably a few missed tackles. But they stunk. And, man, so those games, right, if I'm Todd Payton, do I turn around and go, I need to look at what I have to fix? Or do I turn around and go, I'm forgetting about that? Mm-hmm. We're just moving forward here. When you stink as bad as they stunk, I don't know if a review's going to help you. Sometimes the review's there to embarrass you into action. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's an interesting one with the Cowboys. The Eels, some of their performances this year, I think, have been below middling. I think, last week we were talking about Jason Demetrio. He's the coach that's got the vultures circling. It's probably not him this week. It's probably Brad Arthur yet again.
Yep.
It's often Brad Arthur, let's be honest. But
it's not so JD's okay because South's managed to wrangle 2 points from the bye.
They did well. That was a tough fought bye.
Close.
Yeah, it was.
They got over the line. But
a bye of attrition.
Hey?
It was a bye of attrition, that one. It really was.
This is my take on Brad Arthur. And I don't know him from a bar of soap. He's taken them to one grand final and maybe one or two prelims.
Yeah.
He's been there since 2013. He presided over a fair bit of poor player behaviour back in that period.
Yeah.
And since before he went to the grand final 2 years ago, in that decade, I'm pretty sure the only two other teams that hadn't played in the grand final were the Titans and the Saints in that 10-year period. That's telling you maybe the Warriors as well, because they made one in 2011.
11, yeah.
You know, and they've all had coaching changes. So he's done really well for himself to be in that role for so long.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he's still got a lot to offer, but sometimes the playing group might need a new voice. I don't know.
He's had some able assistants over the years too. He's had some great staff. I just think the point you hit there about that culture and about some of the behaviour, he has faced criticism around that sort of boys will be boys kind of mentality. And, I really have a great deal of respect for that. Put the walls up, shut out the noise.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's like getting through this blah, 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 the critics.
And that's true.
But I think there is also a line with that. I think there is also a point where you have to be like, no, I'm going to be a professional here and we need results. It's a results-based industry.
I was at an event on Friday with the great Chris Anderson. He's one of very few people to have won a premiership as a player and a coach.
Yeah.
And he's coached premierships at two different clubs.
Yeah.
I got a feeling he might be the only guy to have done that. Played in a premiership win and then gone on to coach premiership wins at two different clubs. I don't think there's another bloke, and anyone prove me wrong, because there's in 116 years there's only been 52 premiership winning coaches.
Yeah. It's incredible.
So it's a small list, and then you dull that down to the guys who've won them at different clubs: Wayne Bennett, Phil Gould, Jack Gibson, not Des Hasler, but Tim Sheens.
And then nearly Ivan Cleary, nearly.
And then you get it to a guy who's won one as a player and coached. Anyway, two different clubs.
Yeah.
He spoke a lot about being a player's coach, going to battle into the board, not disagreeing with the organisation and backing his players. But he also seemed to get the best out of his players as well. I think he was a bit loose on certain things, but he also always held them to account. I think that's what you've got to do.
Yeah. I think if this run continues, because we speak about injuries every week, they're definitely missing a couple of big names, but also it's just a matter of finding a little bit of resilience. You talk about effort a lot, and I think that despite the humidity, despite the heat, there were some serious signs of that.
It seemed
missing.
like it, yeah.
You know what might have happened?
What's that?
Because, the likes of Max Plath and, as I mentioned, Tessie New earlier, Trey Fuller, running rings around them. Maybe they got stuck into the Dolphins' stash before the game.
Stash of what?
Their stash of medicinal cannabis. Maybe an eel staffer.
So you're talking about the new jersey sponsor?
The jersey sponsor. Which was taped up in the Darwin slop.
And they just came off.
One of the great non-taping jobs in history, that one.
Oh, okay. So the Dolphins have screwed up royally. So you can't obviously advertise medicine in Australia. It's illegal.
Yeah, but who's making this deal without no? Because Alternaleaf is there going, you know what? This is good for us either way.
Either way, it's great for them.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, buck stops the CEO. So from my understanding, the NRL absolutely gave him a bath during
Is that right?
last week.
So Terry, he's been off in Las Vegas. He was over there
because
pitching
they're
for next
supposed
season.
to go to. They're like, yeah, we're going to Vegas next.
Yeah.
But we've heard from another administrator on this very show saying, you know what, maybe year 3 or 4 is the year we want to go.
Yeah. Well, all the Queensland teams, they've all pulled out. Like, nah,
and apparently the NRL only wants one Queensland team at a time.
Okay.
So, I don't think you're going to see Broncos versus Cowboys over there.
That's a shame. That's a shame for the world. It really is.
But, yeah, so he's been offered over in Las Vegas. He copped a bath from the NRL about doing this deal. He's probably going to have to pay back the sponsorship money. And it's probably cost them 10 sets of jerseys. Maybe?
At least.
I would say that they would have had them all printed. So
yeah.
I think it seems a little bit obtuse
Yeah.
not to be aware of that.
So
But maybe it's all part of the master plan. Who knows?
they're loving having an edge about them for sure. But that for me is just it's a huge oversight. This is something you're not actually allowed to do. It's not legal to do. I'd love to hear from Terry Reader on this. He's done a great job. He has done a really good job.
It's like if they came out with Benson and Hedges on their shit.
It was just, the Winfield Cup is reborn in Darwin.
Alternaleaf Cup.
Yeah, the Bonghead Cup. No, look, it's an interesting one. We'll watch the fallout to that one. But I just think, whoever it is, the CEO's obviously got the oversight on it. But at the end of the day, these deals are being done and meetings are being had. Negotiations are coming out over months. He's not sitting in on every one. At some point, there had to have been a little... Just before we wrap up today, guys, just wanted to check that we're all okay with this not being legal.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been a partnerships person who brokered the deal, but he's got to sign that off.
He's got to sign off on it. Okay.
It's his signature on that deal, baby. It says John Hancock on it.
Okay. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
A night on Saturday night at Lang Park at Suncorp. It was a wet, drizzly shit of a night.
Absolute bludger of a night.
And I'm a Broncos fan. It's great to see them win and win well. But again, not the match of the round by any stretch. But Chevy Stewart, young, coming into the game. Whoa, what a horror first half for the kid.
You know all I've got to say to Chevy Stewart?
Go on.
Welcome to first grade, son. I mean, hey, man, the kid's a supremely talented young man with a huge future in front of him.
Yeah.
He had a stinker of a night. Their whole team had a stinker of a night. He'll be fine. That's get that out of the way now. Okay, this is rugby league. The hardest thing about playing first grade rugby league is being that consistent week in, week out. That's why someone like Finucane, who does that for 251 games, is an alien.
He's a street fighter. That's why he has a street fighter.
You have to get yourself up mentally and physically every week.
Yeah.
It's hard. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
I think it's a good lesson to get early for Chevy.
It's
a good lesson, and this is early in your career. This is what it's going to be like. When you go and play a game like that against a team like that on a night like that, you are in for a long, hard, shitty night. You need to put it all away and just concentrate on catching the ball.
Yeah, and it's hard. Learn the lessons. As I said, he's going to have a great future.
Yeah.
But hey, this is what it's about. work hard, continue to do that because the rewards are great. It's worth it.
Yep.
To put that effort in. So
Stoushes in tunnels.
Oh.
Now I know you're an advocate of, letting players have
an outlet.
a vent. Is that vent in the tunnel?
Well, here's the thing. They're former teammates. I don't know if Hetherington was joking or not.
This is the thing. So we're talking about Jack Hetherington, Reed Marnie. Now, a lot of people have come out and said, Jack Hetherington, wonderful bloke. Doesn't have it in his character, whatever.
I played with his dad.
Yeah.
His dad's a legend.
And
awesome
he's an
fella.
absolute legend.
Tough as nails.
Yeah.
Like, hard man. But, yeah, his dad's a great bloke.
Yeah. What is it with the Hetherington name?
Well, that lunch I was at on Friday, Jason Hetherington was there. He's like that wide, and then chest out here, like looked like he got straight off the bench press.
Yeah,
hell of a bloke.
Probably did.
Legendary fella, amazing guy.
Probably still go.
Rusty Bowden was there too.
So Jack Hetherington, Reed Marnie. Now we often talk about Graham Annesley's match review and here's what we're talking about this week. If you're going to be offended by this, please leave the room. This week it was, I'd like to address the incident that occurred in the tunnel. It's like, what are you talking about the tunnel for? Oh, that's right. There was almost a fight in the tunnel. And basically saying, look, yeah, Hetherington, he'll cop the music for him. Reed Marnie's there going, and then Reed Marnie will also cop the music. Hey, what the fuck? Hang on, what did I do?
But Hetherington's is a combination
of
what happened on the field and in the tunnel.
Yeah, it's a double whammy.
Fucking hell.
But Reed Marnie is sanctioned because he instigated and niggled on the field.
Bugger him, because
I completely agree. It's more than fair enough.
You know why it's fair enough? Because in today's game, guys like Reed Marnie can sit there and jersey punch guys like Jack Hetherington.
And not get in have any physical danger.
With impunity.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not saying that it should be ice hockey, although maybe it kind of should be ice hockey.
Where you can actually take your gloves off, put your stick down.
And the refs just sit there and skate around you while you work it out.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be that, although I like it.
I remember meeting a bloke years ago in Canada, and he was an ice hockey player. And he was talking about, when we train, we do stick work, and then we do speed work, and then we do a little bit of puck work. Then we put the stuff down and we practice our skills. We practice our fighting.
Our fighting on skates.
They fight for 20 minutes in every training session.
Just circle about.
Yeah, they spar. Like we just here we go. We still keep the skates on and just have a little go, just to get ready for the fight that's coming that weekend.
But it's like it's the start of a match. Two guys just eye himself off. The ref goes, and then bang. Everyone knows it's on.
Yeah.
The crowd's at fever pitch.
Yeah.
Stick down, gloves off. It's just one of them grabbing that one.
Whoever gets the jersey.
And then it's just...
yeah. Whoever gets that jersey. And then it's all like it's like the Nintendo timing.
Yeah.
You just got to get the button at the right time. Yeah, you're in trouble.
But rugby league should not be like that. But, they took punching out of the game. I get it. Now they're calling, unnecessary. They're not calling unnecessary roughness, but they kind of are calling unnecessary roughness.
Yeah.
A fella's about to kick the ball. Oh, I can't touch him. If someone's going to kick the ball, he's opening himself up to get whacked.
Yes.
He should get whacked. If you can whack him, you whack him.
Whack away.
Don't jump at his legs. I get all that, but whack him.
Yeah.
Now no one touches a kicker. If someone's trying to catch a ball, it's fair catch.
Yeah.
Pretty much. They put their hand up and they take a fair catch. So there's so much intimidation that's being removed from the game, which is someone like Jack Hetherington. He's an intimidating bastard.
Mm-hmm.
So he lives on that, and he doesn't. And players get frustrated. So I'm not surprised if he was serious, but I don't think he was.
Well, this is the whole thing. You're saying he's actually a real character, and he was just play fighting and having a bit of a joke around. But Reed was up in his, chirp,
I don't think Marnie saw him. That's what shocked Reed.
Yeah.
And the clip's so short. And someone pulls Jack away, so it looks worse.
Yeah, of course.
But he was at the He was at the Dogs at the same time, I think.
Yeah. They form 100%. So it was not quite as bad as the MMA fighter who kicked the ring girl over in Moscow.
Yeah, that's
no
no
good.
that
one.
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
She was in my way, Sui. Yeah, that was awful.
Russians, huh?
But that is fighting. So fighting happens, but you don't kick a bloody.
No, you don't kick a girl.
It's stupid.
Anyway,
Stupid. Anyway,
I don't know.
A lot of forward passes
Oh my God.
getting past us at the moment. Lot of forward passes.
It's an epidemic of forward passes.
You know what? I love international rugby,
Yeah.
but it used to shit me so much, the flat to forward passes that I felt got by in international rugby, where referees would be like, ooh, a passage of play. Let's just let it play, even though the passes are floating. Now I'm like, you know what?
The NRL
rugby?
is worse.
Got this sorted. NRL's the issue.
It's so bad. So, from dummy half, it's so bad. Now, I'm going to reference the Saab in ball to turbo. Now,
Yep.
people are going to say Saab was travelling and there's momentum. I understand physics. I still think it was forward. In that game, the ref went on to pull up about another 3 forward passes. And they were at short quarters. So he actually did pull them up. But then over the weekend, it was frightening the amount that are just being let go. There was one from Marnie, from our man Reed Marnie to Bronson Sherry.
Yeah, that was a...
And it was, you know, it belonged at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting here, what are these guys looking at? The Saab one to turbo, the ref was right there. And then quite often they'll pull up a pass and you're like, looked okay to me.
Yeah.
But these ones out of dummy half, their hands are travelling forward.
Yep.
They've got to stop it. I understand the advantage line. You've got to get over the advantage line.
Yeah, but you still have to do it within the
Rules of the game.
the bounds of the game. That's the thing. So referees, what's the message to referees here? Are they saying, oh, a little bit of leeway there just so we can get that forward momentum and get that speed and get those fast play the balls and all that sort of shit? Is that what they're saying?
Wouldn't you love to sit in on a weekly referees briefing?
I would dearly love
with the hard-running Graham Annesley?
The hard-running Graham Annesley.
I won't bring it up. It will be presented to us. So the hard-running Graham Annesley.
You know what, Desi, he's like a police officer. When he does his presses, he's like, person A breached the defensive line at approximately 17:25 standard Eastern Standard
Perpetrator allegedly took the ball at the 20-metre line. His foot was over the try line. And it's our understanding that 3 individuals have been charged and will face judiciary later this year. Thank you very much, Constable Hasler. Thank you very much. But you know what? He was right on the hard-running Graham Annesley.
Defence, you now may cross-examine Constable Hasler.
Constable Hasler, you've done it again. But I tell you what, he's onto something when he's talking about the hard-running Graham Annesley, but I'm going to say credit where it's due. Graham Annesley's, no, Reed. No. You're to blame for this as well.
You're part of this.
You are part of this incident. You're not getting anywhere. It's like the kid that's gone, hey, Mum, so-and-so spilt the shit all over the floor, so I'm just going to go out and have this. No. You were there too.
I think moving forward, we need to dub this the Michael Ennis rule.
Go on.
Just the Ennis rule.
The niggle
he
rule.
was just the shittest little prick on the field. Always starting shit.
Yeah.
But then when the punch rule came out, he was just licking his chops going, this is great.
This is exactly what I want.
Fantastic.
I was born for this.
Yeah.
I was born for it. Fantastic. Kick chase penalties.
Okay.
It was already a tough day for the Cowboys. It was a tough afternoon at Chalk
This
Park.
was early on. This is what lost them the game. No, it's not.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that penalty.
They would have won if it wasn't for this. It was a penalty, and I think I'm going to remember this rightly. Val Holmes is on the kick chase. He's gone in and sat under the ball to catch it. Debutant Jack Stonestreet. Eric.
Sam.
Eric.
Eric?
No, Eric.
Sam.
It's off Modern Family, Eric Stonestreet.
Yeah.
Cam off Modern Family. Sam Stonestreet's leapt into the air to catch the ball, basically taking a specky over Val's head, then tumble to the ground. Ref's gone penalty Cronulla. And I'm pretty sure when questioned, the ref said, that's the rule. What's the rule? Is the rule, if I'm standing under a kick to catch it and someone jumps over my head and falls over my body onto the ground, it's a penalty against me. Is that the rule?
Apparently it is now, yes.
person A has put the kick in. The alleged perpetrator has tapped him on the head.
That penalty absolutely befuddled me.
Yeah, it was bewildering.
It gazumped me.
Yeah. Baffling, bewildering. I can't think of another word that starts with
But
B.
here's my take on that. A couple of minutes later, a try hadn't been scored at that point, I don't think. A couple of minutes later, Cronulla kick to a Cowboys edge, high kick.
Yeah.
And the Cowboys just allowed Ramey in to tap it back, whereas if one of them had gone and jumped in and tumbled over the top of Ramey, there's a penalty.
Yes.
That ball ends up going out to Jack Williams. Jack Williams shoots it to Eric Stonestreet. He scores in the corner on debut in front of his entire family and friendship group from childhood, which is pretty damn
That was
unreal.
great. And then you got Dale Finucane going, this is why.
Yeah.
This is why. Yeah.
But that's, pretty awesome moment.
Great
He
moment.
he got to salute his family and friends as he scored in the corner in front of him on his first grade debut. That's awesome.
That's pretty special.
done.
That's a
There's a
clap.
clapple.
That's a second clapple of the afternoon.
Yeah.
That's a well-deserved clapple. Okay, so on kicks, I want to go back to the opening match of round 7. So Storm and Roosters duking it out. And Storm are in front. Roosters hit back late. Suali'i, he taps one back. Joey Manu scoops it up, scores in the corner.
Yes.
Two tremendous athletes doing what they do. My question is, Suali'i, he's already an incredible aerial guy. When he does it unchallenged with 4 or 5 Storm defenders just standing there waiting for him to catch the ball, the odds of them not scoring a try are non-existent. It is ridiculous. It was such a shining example.
As don't know the name of the referee in the Cowboys Cronulla game, that's the rule. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I will bring you one other point.
Yep.
In that game, I think, what was the final score in that?
18-12.
5 tries.
Storm to the they got the then they got the late one with Coates. Yeah.
5
which was a fine try.
5 tries from kicks. All from kicks in that game. All of them.
Yeah. I know you love them. Broncos Canberra. Broncos scored 3 in that first half.
I don't dislike them. I
Yeah.
like it. It's a legitimate way of scoring tries. So, if we're getting all these tries from kicks, what's with the freaking 7 tackle rule?
Yeah, I agree.
Ditch it.
It's
Look at
gotta
how
go.
many tries are being scored with kicks. Get rid of the 7 tackle rule. Because if you miss it by that much, now it's 7 tackles. Like, far out, that rule sucks.
Oh, it's a cruel rule.
Anyway, just get rid of it.
We've spoken a lot about the toll that the fast pace and whatnot goes. Kalen Ponga's had an injury plagued last few years, but this last one, it's got to hurt. I mean that not trying to be funny. Like
No,
it's a
gonna
big
hurt.
big blow.
It's going to hurt Newcastle.
It's going to hurt Newcastle immensely.
And they stunk as well. So I feel terrible for Pong. So how many weeks is he out for? Do we know? It's like a 6 or 8 weeks,
It's
right?
a 6 or 8 week with surgery possibly making
So
it
it's a
even
Liz
longer.
Frank injury, is that right?
As far as I know.
So that's like a bastard of a thing in your foot, the Liz Frank. Like
Yeah.
that's a bone. It's a weird bone in your foot that when you break it, it's you. Ugh. And he played with a hip pointer.
Yeah.
So everyone's saying he shouldn't have played. Well, people play with hip pointers all the time. He's a professional rugby league player. You play with a little bit of injury. If it was that as bad, like hip pointers can be horrifically painful. But I don't think there's any onus on the coach if he's injured something else while playing. It's
that's
8
what
games in. They're all playing injured.
That's what I was going to say. It's like, he's got to, look, he went into the game with a sore shoulder and then he hurt his knee. It's like, well, he didn't re-injure the shoulder. He didn't make that worse. He hurt a different. If he's okay to go into the game, like I'm trusting. Please allow me to trust the integrity of the doctors that are ruling him fit to play.
It's not like it's not like Coach Bud Kilmer in Varsity Blues sending Billy Bob back out there after he's had a brain aneurysm.
Yeah.
That's my boy, William Robert. Yeah. It's funny you talk about these injuries everyone plays with. I can remember. I'm going to name this guy. He's my mate, Paul Bowman, legend.
Oh, Paul Bowman. We're not worthy.
I love Tracy Bowman. One time we came to training and Bear Bowman wasn't training, and someone said, "Oh, you're injured." He said, "Yeah." They said, "What's wrong?" He said, General soreness. Darian Doherty, who was with us, he said, General, Major Doherty. But he said he was out with general soreness.
Okay.
Which is true. I mean, fucking hell.
This is the same guy that made how many tackles in a row?
With a busted knee in
with
State
a
of
busted
Origin.
knee?
I love him. He was awesome. He was our captain.
Was that general soreness that night as well?
He's tough as nails, Paul Bowman. One of the
Yeah.
great's defensive centres Queensland's ever had.
We know these players are tough. Kalen Ponga is a tough customer. He has absolutely proven that. And again, like if he knows he's fit, he still has to be ruled fit to play. Like he can say, I'm going to be right all I want. Ultimately, there is too much bad news in it for the club and the NRL if they are going to clear a player who's not fit.
It's a different injury. It's not poor management. You know, a lot of players play when they shouldn't play. That's a fact. A lot of them do. But I don't see this Liz Frank being anything to do with his hip pointer, which he carried into the game.
Fogarty. Jamal.
He's done.
He's out.
He's he's out for 3 months, right?
He's out for a long time, yeah. Ricky, and this is what I liked about Ricky Stewart this week, because look, of course he's going to do it because he just loves the media. He loves taking questions. He always has. But you know, when people are starting to get stuck in about Chevy and all of that, he's saying, no. I've got a young crop at the moment. I'm pretty proud of what they did the other night. Shit of a night, playing against last year's grand finalists who have somehow managed to cobble together a reasonable run without some really big names. Reece Walsh, absolutely untouchable. But you know what? I'm happy for these guys. And he needs to be happy for them, and they need to know that because they've got a run coming up where shit's going to get even harder. Because
Who the Raiders do?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely they do.
Who they got? The Raiders have this week Cowboys, Penrith. Who do they have? Oh, they got the Sharks this week. Is that right? That's it. The Sharks are flying
They're
high.
playing the Sharks on top of the
That was
ladder.
an amazing 80 minutes the Sharks put together. It's not good. There's really no easy games in the NRL unless you're the Dolphins in Darwin and the Sharks at Shark Park against the Cowboys.
Yeah. So he's gone for at least 3 months. The bicep, it's gone, and they're dropping like absolute flies.
We welcome back Adam Reynolds and Payne Haas.
Yes.
We lose Fogarty and Ponga.
Yeah.
And Capewell. Capewell's now out again.
I was sad to see that, but also let's looking slightly ahead to State of Origin too, and the depletion we're already seeing here. It all swirls back. Like some injuries are going to happen, but there is an undeniable link between what we're seeing on the field this year as far as strain on players goes and these injuries. I won't go into it again, but that's what's happening, and we're missing all of our best players because of it. Speaking of missing best players, Joey Manu.
So I've got some intel.
You have
Last
some
week we
info,
spoke
yep.
about whether playing in Japan, he's going to be able to play for the All Blacks.
Yep.
Grapple fan, Cam Aldridge. G'day, Cam.
Hello, Cam.
He sent me a message. I'm going to find it, and it absolutely states what the situation is. Now, where is it? Oh, God. Basically, it states that if you have an exemption, here it is. NZ Rugby, you have to be signed to an NZ franchise or have a clause to play a sabbatical and come back. Now, that's what Geordie Barrett's doing. He's gone and signed with Leinster. He said, so Manu will likely get an NZ contract after Japan if he wants to be an All Black. So I think the team that he signed for in Japan is maybe coached by Steve Hansen.
Yep. Yeah, Steve Hansen's come out and said, mate,
former All Blacks coach.
stick with me. Yeah.
So
We'll get you in black.
there was also talk that the Roosters were going to leave room in their cap from mid next year so he can come back after his Japanese stint. If they're dangling an AB's jersey in front of him, he's gone, right?
But you'd think so, based on my general assumption that every young Kiwi grows
Kid
up thinking
ever.
of themselves playing for the All Blacks.
Yeah.
That's and the prodigious ability of the guy.
He's
and
gonna,
the team
he's going to be
fit into it.
unreal.
Yeah, he'll be great. You said last week he's a 12, he's a 13.
I'd
Dare I
love it
say he could even be a 15?
I'd love if he was a Wallaby.
It would be very dear to all of us.
Anyway, shout out to Cam Aldridge for giving us that information after we asked the question.
Speaking of information on questions, you've been an absolute social media menace this week. Let's talk about another incident that's
Is it
struck
the
up.
toe or is it the knee?
The toe or the knee? So this was another referee, a call. And look, referees will make mistakes. I get that. There's always that narrative, and of course they will. This one, though...
Well, I don't know. I mean, it could... So when I first saw it live, I'm like, try. And then the Knights faithful, the great Kieran Wheeler, he's a Novocastrian himself, he sends me a video saying, no, his toe hit the line. And I'm looking at the replays and I said, I can't see it. And then he videotaped it and narrated the video for me and said, there it is. So I've looked at it, and once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, yeah, his toe flicks up. White stuff, as it's been called on the socials.
The white stuff.
The white stuff.
Okay.
And then a lot of people piled on and said, no, it's his knee. So thank you to everyone who commented on that reel. It's amazing. There's some, wonderful, scorecards on there. A lot of people mistaking me for a Knights supporter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is fine. I mean, it's, I'm not. I don't. But that's okay.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a supporter of righteousness.
Yep.
And the right decisions. The bunker seemed to think it was his knee. I'm okay now with the bunker thinking it's his knee because it's 50-50 and benefit of the doubt should go with the attacking team. So
yeah, I still just think you saw a little bit of chalk fly up.
It kind of looks like his toe flicks the chalk, right?
Yeah.
What are our online poll?
Oh, overwhelmingly toe.
The toe, overwhelmingly toe. And only,
hang on.
And only about 18% seem to think it was Tony Montana.
Yeah. So that was the biggest surprise to me. I was thinking it was all about Montana, but no, they've gone with the toe. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Watch this toe here.
There you go.
Flicks white stuff up right there.
That's your mate saying flicks white stuff up right there.
Yeah, that's Kieran.
Flicks white stuff up.
And I tend to agree with him.
I think it's his toe. But look, I'm not dying on that hill. Someone said to me, not to me, someone said to our Instagram page, are you willing to bet your life on it? So, I don't think I'm willing to go that far.
I mean, go on. Throw your body on the line.
I just asked him to calm down. This is rugby league. We're not, having life and death situations.
Knee, 42%.
Yeah.
Toe, 27%.
Yes.
Nothing.
Yes.
22%.
Okay.
Tony Montana, 10%.
Okay, so toe is the overwhelming,
most
likely thing that brought up that bit of white chalk.
Yeah.
And
as you say, the boots are moving pretty quick.
Yeah.
Given the player.
I think they got ruled to try really quickly. I don't think they looked at it long enough. I'd like to, shout out Lord Snowface on Instagram. He said, the bunker didn't see it because there was nothing to see. Interesting.
Yeah, okay.
But look, slagging off the bunker's a sport in its own right.
Oh, look, days. It's, okay. Mistakes are made. I make them every day of my life. And I just think when you've got that tech, that slow-mo, that amount of time, the amount of money, it costs like $8 million a year or something. I'm not
saying
to
don't make mistakes. I'm just saying make less.
Just make less.
Make less.
Maybe just have another look at it. I just thought but it's interesting because when you do put it on social media, the divide is very real. And I'm like, are we all seeing different shit? Is that what's happening? Have we been on the Alternaleaf?
I guess so.
Or have they?
Of Alternaleaf?
Yeah.
Are they sponsoring the bunker?
Maybe.
They might be.
Maybe they are. That's legal, isn't it?
Look into that.
They can't
they're allowed to
but they
sponsor
can
the
look
bunker.
after.
In fact,
if anyone needs a good spliff, it's the bunker officials.
Sponsor the bunker.
Give them one. Jeez Louise.
Oh god! But anyway, it's fun. There's a lot of people weighing in on the argument. Appreciate that. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what? It had a massive bearing on the result too. So, that game was...
that was the turning point. It
neck
was like
and neck.
the penalty against Val.
Yep, it was... it would have only been 30-12 if that one... Yeah.
Oh, the Knights stunk. Did the Knights, the Cowboys, or the Eels stink the most?
I think the Eels. You could probably say the Cowboys, but I think the Eels. They were that pedestrian, and I've been saying it all week. They absolutely hit a wall. There's no doubt about it. But I just saw that, and I know you're big on this too. What you would probably say is that effort sort of dwindling away because one try became 2, became 3, became 4, and that was the point where they're going, you know what?
It's so hard as well. And in the game we play these days with 6 again, momentum just the game can almost be snatched away from you in the space of a few sets. This momentum can just swing.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of tries, a couple of 6 agains. All of a sudden, you've done back-to-back sets of tackling. Your legs are gone skis. You're absolutely blowing. And these guys are full of running. You're done.
They hardly touched the ball in that second half. They honestly were just... The Cowboys... I'll let you appraise the Cowboys because, you know...
Oh, look, they're my guys and, you know, I love them. But I think I tipped them to draw with Cronulla.
Yeah.
And, I thought from the start they were just a few steps behind.
Yeah.
I just didn't... It surprises me in this day and age that you can get a game at this level where one team is clearly more enthusiastic than the other. Because quite often that's the difference. It's the intent, it's the enthusiasm, it's the energy they play with, which is peculiar. You know, there's not a huge skill gap. You get some players who are freaks. There's not a huge fitness gap, I don't think. Once again, there's some players who are freaks. Maybe the Panthers, Broncos, they look pretty fit.
They look pretty, yeah.
But when you get a team that just out-enthuses you and wants it more, that's quite often the difference, which is bizarre.
Yeah, it's interesting. It absolutely is. And I agree with what you said before. Why would you take a Queensland team to that humidity?
I'd be playing Canberra.
Anzac Day this week, so quick shout out to the Wars. Now, change of opponent. They're playing the Titans, but New Zealand Army, that'll be the biggest military contingent at an Anzac Day ceremony anywhere in the world. So I think they've got about 180 service personnel that'll be at the ground doing the ceremony. Nowhere in the world will there be more New Zealand military figures.
Oh, really?
At an Anzac ceremony, yeah.
180 is the most.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. I know what you're thinking.
It's not a lot.
You'd be having one at, Parliament House or whatever. You'd probably squeeze a few more in.
Yeah.
But no.
Hey, it's awesome. It's great. So that's Thursday afternoon. That's the early game. So we got 3 games on Thursday.
You got great. Dragons and Roosters. So let's get your tips. So Warriors and Titans. So the Titans going to snap their duck on Anzac Day.
I mean, they could. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in New Zealand, right? And it's the Anzac Day for the New Zealand. Obviously, the NZ and Anzac stands for New Zealand. Did you know that?
Big deal.
Did
I
you
did,
know that?
yeah.
Are you aware of that?
I thought it meant neuroscience. Yeah.
So I think you just said 180 military personnel. I think New Zealand get that job done.
Okay. Is this because you don't want to tip another upset? Because the Warriors, they stunk last week as well.
Yeah, but I think they're more likely to bounce back.
Okay.
I think whilst the Titans stunk, they played with a little bit more expanse, which is good to see. And they're still down on troops, the Warriors, as well.
They are. And I do think the Titans are on the way, but I'm with you there that the Warriors, Anzac Day, that's 1 from 1 for us.
Capewell is not playing, but I don't think he's the loss that, a Sean Johnson is or someone like that. So.
Dragons and Roosters, obviously the traditional Sydney Footy Stadium, Moore Park, Aliens, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
Thursday afternoon. Dragons coming off a huge win.
Yeah, but the Roosters welcome back Sam Walker and Dom Young.
Yep.
I think this is probably going to be a little bit closer than people think, but I think it's a Roosters win.
I think the Dragons on their day can beat any team and put a score on them.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think they can do it.
Yeah.
To the Chooks this weekend.
I tipped the Roosters to beat the Storm. I didn't think they were terrible.
No, they weren't. No.
I thought that was a pretty good game.
Yeah.
So.
I remember the commentators not bemoaning, but expressing surprise at there haven't been that many set restarts in this game, almost as though they'd entered some sort of twilight zone. It was very strange to them that the game hadn't been in perpetual motion, as it has been for much of the year. Manly and the Eels.
Oh, no, you're missing South Sydney and Rabbitohs.
I am missing South Sydney versus the Rabbitohs.
That's the late game on Thursday night.
Souths and the Storm.
Oh, South Sydney, the Storm. What did I say?
They're having an
Sydney playing the
intra-club.
Rabbitohs.
Yeah.
Some good players back in for the Bunnies. So Cook back in, Kepi, Jai Arrow has been named. I think he's on an extended bench. And he's named as number 17.
Good. Queensland needs you, Jai. Get out there and stay
Tallis
fit.
Duncan is on the extended bench. I'm curious to see why he's on the outer. I think he's a pretty good player.
Yep.
I think you probably have to go the Storm. I just think it's at Melbourne, it's at Amy Park, and the Storm, Moneyball. Don't tip against the Storm. I made the mistake last week. Won't do it again.
Yeah, they're bloody good.
Yep.
Jerome Hughes hosing down rumours of coming back to Queensland.
Yeah.
To the Gold Coast.
He used to be a Cowboy.
Heaven knows. Yeah, he played, I think, 1 or 2 games for them at the start of his career.
I tell you what I'll do one day is I'll
He played a game for the Titans too.
Jerome Hughes.
I'm sure he did.
Did he?
I think he did.
Okay.
I've been wrong before, but I'm sure he did.
I'll do a list of players that have left the Cowboys, and I'm not saying that it's not a shot at the Cowboys for letting them go.
Yeah.
It's just how good their juniors were coming through that they had to let some players go.
Yeah.
So I'll do a team of that next week.
I'd love to see that.
It's an impressive team.
That'd be fantastic.
Jerome was a fullback back then.
Really?
Yeah. I'm looking at this.
There you go. One game.
One game at the Gold
2013
Coast.
Gold Coast Titans. 2016 one game for the Cowboys.
There you go.
2017 to current 130 for the Storm. Story being his partner, obviously. He's a Palm Beach Currumbin
Is he a PBC
graduate.
boy?
Yeah, he's a PBC boy. And he's just going, the fuck are you talking about? Why would I want to... I've become one of the best halfbacks in the world. I'm good.
Hell of a player.
And they want me. They want me. Eels and Sea Eagles. Oh, I'll tell you what, Johnny, this is a matchup of the round. Both of these teams are coming back from pretty tough
Solid
outings.
encounters. The Oils up in Darwin were actually put to the sword by the Dolphins.
Oh, it was hard to watch, Johnny. It really was. Now,
Brad Arthur will have to...
Kenty, I got a little bit of mail on this one. The Eels have been told in no uncertain terms that the coach will be sacked if they don't lose this one by less than 20.
What my sources are telling me is that Brad Arthur's days at the Oils are actually a little bit numbered.
Welcome to the panel, James.
James Hoover.
Welcome to the grapple. Oh, we've been desperate for your exclusive and original insights.
And I'm going to shift in my seat as I wobble my head a little bit and say things that are mildly amusing to me, but not to anyone else.
I've been reading the paper this morning, and I took the time to cut and paste a couple of articles from the paper, and now I'm going to read them as though they're my ideas.
And at the start of a game, I'll tell you about the weather, what the temperature is at ground level, and whether it's going to be a cracker of a game or not.
I love it when it's judiciary night and they go to the judiciary. It's like James is at the judiciary. James is what's going there, and it's like 2 hours before the hearing. And he's like, yeah, look, it's an interesting night here at NRL HQ. The sushi joint downstairs is closed, and we're all pretty hungry, so we're going to do a whip round and get a bit of Uber Eats, and hopefully that arrives in time before the hearing goes in. But at this stage, yes, that player is absolutely still front of the judiciary later tonight. Like, oh, that was
The crowd at
informative,
the Irish
insightful.
pub in the entertainment quarter hasn't quite built up just yet.
There's no one here because I've come to the wrong location. Tigers and Broncos. Now, this is a trip that the Brisbane side doesn't love. They're going to Campbelltown.
No one loves that.
No one loves Campbelltown. Broncos have never really loved Campbelltown. They've had some wins over the years, of course, but they've had some shock losses as well. Tigers have been good. Benji got the shits last week. It's the first little glimpse of, that should have been a sunbun,
Yeah.
It's a bit of bullshit,
Yeah.
First little bit of
Well, it should have
agitation
been.
we've seen. Of course
It
it
should
should
have
have been. I'm not going to tip against the Broncos, but I think they're in for a fight.
No, I think they win. They win well. They welcome back Payne Haas, Adam Reynolds. Reynolds is going to kick him to death. I think they're fine.
Okay, Cowboys, and now here we go. So we're heading north now, and we're welcoming the triple reigning premiers on the back of a week that was described, and this is the worst descriptor in rugby league. Can I just take a moment here to say, I don't think there is anything more insulting than when someone reports on your team's loss as a training gallop for the other side.
Well, it was.
A training gallop.
It
Look, for sure. But Jesus, words can hurt.
Yeah.
Training camp.
So Griffin Neem's been named at 10. Jason Taumalolo on the bench.
Jason Talmalolo.
Till about out.
On the bench. Thomas McKaylee has come into the 17 as well, and Jack Koszewski moves into the extended bench. You can't tip against. Cleary's back for Penrith. So good luck. It's a tough ask.
Yeah,
It's going to be a big ask.
So I don't think that's. I think you need to tip the reigning premiers there. I don't like tipping against the Cowboys, but you never know. Maybe they just bounce back in spectacular fashion.
It'd be huge.
Be enormous.
That would be one of those line in the sand, season-defining turning point moments.
I feel like Griffin Neem is starting in the front row about 6 weeks too late, and I'm not. By no means am I anything like a footy coach, but I kind of feel like he needed to have started early on. And the reason being is that Jason and Jordan are wonderful front rowers, but their lateral movement isn't great as they get older. And I think when they're both on the field at the same time, I think they're a target.
Yep.
So I think you want to swap Jason with Jordan, in my opinion.
That channel becomes a little
and
bit
I think
of
Griffin Neem's the future, man. I love that kid.
Okay. Tough conversations to happen.
Yeah.
I got good mail out of North Queensland that Griffin Neem will be starting.
Are you sure you didn't? Oh, we just read that on NRL.com. Back to you. Dolphins and the Knights. I got the Dolphins continuing the... no Ponga, no luck is my...
They seem undeniable, the Dolphins.
Yep. Raiders and Sharks.
It's going to be a good game. I think this will be a good one.
Is it your match of the round?
I don't dislike the Raiders. I think they've got something to offer. I'm going to have a look at... Fogarty's a big out.
Huge out.
Yeah.
Teams without good halves are struggling. That is not the headline of the year. It is not a surprise.
No.
But it is the absolute fact any year, and it's no different this year.
But the Sharks are without their number 6 as well.
So it's a battle of depleted halves in Canberra.
Obviously tricky.
On a chilly-ish Sunday afternoon.
Tricky enjoyed his Sunday night win
a
little bit too much. Hung out with Josh Adokar's right toe.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry, context. We should have mentioned that the player we were talking about for 10 minutes earlier was, of course, the Fox.
The Fox,
Josh Adokar, and that toe.
Yeah.
Just letting you know, Tony Montana's just gone up to 20%.
Is that right?
Yeah, it might have been his white chalk after all. Look, I'm going to say the Sharks.
I think the Sharks too.
I'm up for the Raiders to come out and surprise us, but the Sharks, mate, I'll tell you what, Fitzgibbon, Josh Hannay, they got them purring. They have them absolutely purring.
Canberra's a tough place to play. Always is. But look, I think that it's first, 7th match of the round. Maybe I think Storm and the Bunnies. Storm and the Bunnies has the potential to be match of the round.
If the Bunnies do their bit,
if they turn up, that's got the potential to be the match of the round. So does the Dragons and the Roosters.
Yep.
There are some good matchups.
Yep. Okay. Well, I hope I'm proven wrong in saying the Warriors and Titans is not my match of the round. Neither is the Dolphins and Knights. And the Bulldogs should get home in the bye.
I assume they will.
Okay. I want to give a shout out quickly to my nephew Geordie.
Hey, Geordie.
He suggested that we say name the year of the jersey we're wearing. Let us know on social media, and we'll send you
something. We got something we can send.
Today's rundown.
Signs.
Yeah. We'll get our producer
the
wizard to sign it.
What is that?
You have to tell me.
Oh, they have to tell
you
us.
Have to tell me. No, I'm not saying
so we're not going to say
so
that.
Having
okay,
a good
so
look here. I'll just give you a big clue.
Yeah.
It's obviously after a certain year.
Yes.
It's after a certain year, given this logo here.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit, does look a little bit old school, doesn't it?
So this is, they're now the Toyota Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So this is pre-Toyota Cowboys.
Yep.
It's Telstra Premiership. So
yeah. Okay. KFC's still in the sleeve,
I'll probably take a year range for this one.
Yeah, I'm happy to go a year either
three,
side.
3-year range. I'll accept.
Yep. You win the glory of a mention.
Oh,
and
yeah.
some sort of prize from this table.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, I don't know.
I want to give a shout out to Dave Casey. He's an ordinary Aussie bloke. He's written a book called The Chronicles of Case. He's a bit of a stalwart at my junior club, Brothers, back in Mackay. And he told us a few stories from this book. They're just basically stories about life. It's ballsy. to write a book.
Absolutely.
And it's hard as well.
Yeah.
So if you Google the Chronicles of Case or search it on Facebook, there's a link to his Amazon site. Good on you, Dave.
Yeah, good on you, Dave.
He's a bit of a larrikin, but obviously he's sitting here with a fishing rod in one hand and a stubby of 4X gold in the other with a big shit-eating grin on his face. So that's the Chronicles of Case. So.
Good on you, Case. Looking like he's having the time of his life.
Absolutely.
And I'll give a shout out to Mackay Brothers as well as a former Brothers Junior myself down here in the southeast. It was lovely to see a bit of love from the butchers up north. Obviously, your junior alum as well.
Exactly.
Love it. It's fantastic. It's the Grapple podcast. Somehow we're still going after
remarkable.
now 11 episodes.
This is incredible. How did we get here?
Alternate Leaf. We're living in a haze.
Alternately, sponsor us. Please.
We
won't tape it up.
We will not
I
hesitate.
promise you we won't tape it up.
We possess a particular set of skills. Like, share, subscribe, tell everyone you know. Johnny?
You're tipping. Good luck you require. Joel, search your feelings. You know it to be true.
The force be with you, one and all. We'll see you next time.
Let's hug it out.
Hug it out.